Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here. The lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby rotation battles in the free battle in Battle Spot. Now, as I said in yesterday's team building video, which there is a link to down in the description, so if you want to click that, you'll go to the team builder and see the Pokemon I've assembled and the movesets, held items, strategies, and all that good stuff. Shelbert the Squirtle is my first choice for the team, kind of like the team captain for the week, I guess. He has met defeat in a previous week of the rotation battles, hasn't had a win yet, and I'm giving him one last shot to try to get a win before ending off the rotation battles as a whole on the channel. Also joining him is a Pokemon that hasn't had a chance yet in the rotations, Canuck the Bibarel, hailing from my Sinnoh team. And you can check that team builder in the description, as I said. It's going to see the entire team, the other four that are coming with them. But with all that being said, let's get right into these battles right now and see if we can get some last-minute victories for a couple of our Pokemon that do not yet have them. Let's begin. Our first opponent from Hyogo, Japan, of course I cannot pronounce the name, but let's see what they're bringing to the field. All level 50s, all held items, no legendaries, so this opponent actually knows what they're doing with their team. Now, of Shelbert and Canuck, who has the better chance against these? I would say neither of them, although Canuck could get some superpower damage off. He might actually be the best one to bring into this first battle, so I'm going to lead with Canuck. He would have a big problem against, let's see, well, the Aegislash we could bulldoze. I see a number of fairy types. I'm actually going to bring Stinger the Beedrill as our second choice. And do we need to get some Thunder Waves off with Dratini? We see one immunity in that Garchomp, but if we predict when it comes up, we could go for a Draco Meteor. I am actually going to bring Dratini for our third choice. And I think we're just going to go all out with some power of our Mega Evolution, Majestic the Altaria for choice number 4. Let's see how we do in our first match, trying to get a win for Canuck. And what's this battle music again? I think this is when you fight the legendary fighting type trio from Unova. Regardless, anyway, we see the battle get started. So Canuck, Stinger, and Dratini leading the field on my side, showing off their ribbons. Of course, the opponent sends in the Togekiss, Sylveon, and Aegislash. So they're in a pretty good spot. They know I can go for a poison attack, but they have that steel type to bring in, actually ghost type as well, to resist any normal attacks. I think our best bet right now, we can go ahead and go into our Dratini and Thunder Wave anything. Let's see what the opponent decides to go for. Let's hope they don't withdraw and go into the Garchomp now. Dazzling Gleam, it's super effective. Thanks to that Focus Sash, we're going to take this though. And thanks, the Dazzling Gleam has no secondary effect, so Serene Grace is not going to help that. Do you have a Lumberry by any chance? I certainly hope not. No, you don't. Alright, so we just slowed you down. What is my next best bet to go for? I want to go ahead and go for the Poison Jab from Stinger, but the moment I try that, they're going to bring up the Aegislash. You know what? There's a 2 out of 3 chance I'm going to get some super effective damage off with Poison Jab, so I'm going to go for it. If I get that 1 out of 3 chance it does nothing, then that's just unfortunate on my side. Alright, Sylveon comes up. This we can deal with. Nice Poison Jab off. And almost drop it. Can we get the poison? No, we can't, but the Hyper Voice with Pixelate ability, we're going to resist that. Not very effective. Now, they might just let this drop at this point. I might want to go ahead and swing into Canuck and go with the Bulldoze. I'm hoping they don't bring the Togekiss back up. But I can get a knockout on the Sylveon, I can slow down the Aegislash and get some super effective off. Here comes the Steel type. Bulldoze is going to connect and get some good damage off. Okay, not good damage, but it's going to get some good speed drop off at least. And the stance change. You're going to go for a Shadow move. Iron Head. Nope, well, we're going to resist that, thankfully. So we are still in this. Alright, next best bet. This thing could have Sacred Sword. I'm going to go ahead and bring up our Dratini once more. The best attack we can go for would be probably the Water Pulse. I'm basically expecting I might lose him at this point, but I don't think we need to worry about Shadow Sneak. Sylveon could have Quick Attack perhaps, unless it's choiced. Let's see what happens here. Water Pulse. We could get some confusion off with this. Minimal damage, and there's the Sacred Sword. So, Dratini at least got some good damage off before he went down, though. And you Thunder Wave that Togekiss very nicely. Now, the final Pokemon comes on in. It's going to be our Altaria. So, obviously, they can go for a Fairy move of that Hyper Voice. But if they want to bring that Sylveon up, I'm going to rotate back into Canuck and go with the Bulldoze once again. The Aegislash could go King Shield, but we don't physically connect with our Bulldoze, therefore we're not going to lose our attack stat. Even if we did, though, we have the White Herb, too. And the only problem would be if they bring up the Togekiss. So my opponent is carefully selecting their move. Let's see, do they rotate? They actually do into their Flying type. Bulldoze has no effect, but do you get full paralysis? Yes, you do. Alright, that worked out pretty decent. Now, of course, obviously the play that would work would be the Poison Jab. I'm expecting the Sacred Sword might happen, though. Do I want to let Canuck fall? I'm thinking just going for Bulldoze. No, I don't want that to happen. I'm going to go ahead and swing into our... I'm going to swing into our Beedrill, go Poison Jab. That's what they go for. They stay active, therefore we get a good, decent amount of damage off on the Togekiss. Almost bringing it down. It goes for Air Slash, which is going to knock us out for sure. Wait, you have good special defense. I didn't think so. But they're all in pretty good range of getting KO'd. So now we can go for the Mega Evolution. And the best move we can go for would be Moonblast on anything here. Of course, the... I think the Aegislash could go for the Iron Head again. But Dragon Claw will be immune by, completely immune from both of these fairy types. Earthquake would be immune by the Togekiss. I just gotta go Moonblast and hope for the best. Mega Majestic returning to the battlefield in the rotation battles now. Let's see what she can pull off. We get the Moonblast. This should drop the Togekiss. Down it goes. Alright, so we're 2 against 3. We're still fighting an uphill battle at this point. Next in is... I knew the Garchomp was going to come in. So we can go for the Moonblast, though. It could go for... Actually, it can't hit us with a Dragon move because we are immune now. And now there's no Flying type. We can Earthquake. That is probably the way to go. I could go for a Dragon Dance. But I don't think they're gonna... Would they be able to get a knockout with the Iron Head? No, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go Earthquake right now. Just to get some damage off. Do they Mega Evolve, though? Let's find out. If you want to rotate that Aegislash up right now, I'd be okay with that, actually. Because if we can get the Earthquake off on that, we might drop it at this range, as long as it doesn't go back into Shield form. The Sylveon is more than likely going to fall immediately. Here comes the Aegislash. Come on, let's see what happens here. King Shield. Alright, we could have got a free Dragon Dance up, too. But that's okay. Now, Iron Head is likely going to happen. I'm going to rotate around into our Bibarel. I'm just going to go with the Icy Wind. See what happens here. Hopefully the Garchomp might come back up. We can get a nice speed drop and some double super effective. The question is, will we be able to survive a Garchomp attack? And the answer is probably not. But that is the movement. We're going into our Bibarel, going for the Icy Wind. And the Sylveon comes in. Now, we took one of these attacks last time. Didn't take that one. Actually, we dodged that, and we get the Icy Wind off. That should drop that Sylveon. Alright, we're 2-2 right now. That was a very, very fortunate dodge on our part. And if we actually stayed active with our Mega Altaria, that would have dropped us. I think I might have said earlier that I was now immune to fairy attacks, or if I did, I was completely mistaken. I meant dragon, but maybe I said dragon. I'm losing track of stuff here. But our best bet is... I think I'm going to go ahead and go into our Mega Altaria once again. I'm going to risk taking a hit, I'm going to go Dragon Dance. Let's see what they go with. I don't want to go Earthquake just yet, because with the Aegislash in shield form, I don't think one Earthquake will drop it. But we can boost up our attack stat and our speed. Don't think we're going to outspeed the Garchomp, though. Come on, let's see. They go for the Garchomp. They go for a Dragon move. I certainly hope so. Nope, they have Iron Head on that thing, too. That's not good, but we don't flinch. We get the Dragon Dance up. As I say, I don't think we're going to outspeed the Garchomp with one. I'm going to go back into Canuck and go for the Icy Wind. I could expect that, but there's really no other choice. Come on, can we survive an Iron Head? And can we not flinch, please? We took that nicely. We get the Icy Wind off. Super, super effective and dropping the speed. So, a Moonblast at this range should drop this. Even with those leftovers. The Aegislash will be immune to that, though. So I think the best idea is... I'm going to actually leave Canuck up for one more hit. I'm going to try one more Icy Wind, just to see what they go for. Here comes the Aegislash, okay. So, for whatever good it's going to do, we're going to slow this thing down. Hardly any damage, of course. And they go for an Iron Head, most likely, unless they go Sacred Sword right now. There's the Sacred Sword, so we're going to lose Canuck. But he got a speed drop off on both of these opponents. That's leaving our Altaria in a decent position to go for the Earthquake, which will drop the Aegislash. They're going to probably go King Shield, though. But they might not, because they might expect that gives me a free chance to get the Dragon Dance up again. So, that being the case, they're more than likely just going to King Shield this turn. Trying to block whatever attack comes in. I'm going to go for the Earthquake. There's the King Shield. So I could have had another chance to Dragon Dance. I didn't think they were going to let me set up like that, though. Okay. Now, either of these opponents have Iron Head, of course. I can't Dragon Dance now, because either one could drop me with a single hit. I have to predict which one is going to go for it. And all I can go with is... I'm going to Dragon Claw, just in case the Garchomp comes up and we survive a hit. We actually outspeed Dragon Claw! Alright, you got Rough Skin? Yes you do, so we're going to lose some HP off that. But the only thing left is this Aegislash. It's coming right down to the wire. Will an Earthquake take you out at this point after one Dragon Dance? I really don't think so with your shield up, but that is the only move to go for. Come on, Majestic. Wait, they go Shadow Sneak? Can they take us out at this range? Certainly hope not. Hang in there. They bring us down, unfortunately. That was so close, too. Oh well. Well-played match on both sides, though. I didn't think I made any misplays. Good game to my opponent. Final opponent from Illinois, United States, Dratini, looking for a level 100 and shiny Pokemon. We got a lot of level 100s, none of them shiny. And this doesn't look like it's going to be the most competitive battle. We do have all level 50s, of course, but a lot of legendaries and mythical Pokemon, as well as a Ditto, probably with Imposter, and the Sylveon. They both have held items, of course. Now, since we already had a chance with Canuck, I'm going to actually let Shelbert have a chance this time. I'm going to lead with him. See if we can try and get a win for our final chance with Shelbert in these rotations. He wouldn't be very good to deal with the Celebi, of course. He does have Ice Beam, but that does have grass attacks. So I think best bet... Actually, we see a lot of Psychic and Fairy in this team, so we're going to bring Stinger the Beedrill. The Jirachi would be resistant to the... well, part resistant to the Bug-type attacks. We don't have Drill Run on Stinger this week, but we do have Earthquake in our Mega Altaria, so we are going to bring her as well. And for the fourth Pokemon, what we're actually going to do, you know what, this is kind of breaking my usual tradition, I'm going to bring Canuck as our fourth Pokemon, give him one last chance for a win. battle gets underway versus Dratini. Now, although they don't have all held items, only 2 of them have items, the thing is, these are legendaries and mythicals, so I'm going to say that balances out the challenge decently enough. We see a Sylveon, Mew, and Jirachi lead. Now, obviously, they can go ahead and bring up the Jirachi for the immunity to poison-type moves. So what is our best bet? I think probably first things first, I am going to go ahead and just go with an a Rock Tomb from Shelbert to slow down anything that is in the active spot. We can handle the Earthquake quite nicely, it's not stab. Mew has good attack stat, but we have the Eviolite, of course. So slow yourself down there, Mew. And if you want to see an Earthquake, we can show you an Earthquake in a little bit. In fact, you know, now might be the time. No, I don't want to risk Majestic coming up taking a Fairy-type move from that Sylveon. I'm going to go right on ahead and fire off a Scald attack now. And Mew uses Fly. So we know it's going to come down, and we can hit it with whatever we want now. Question is, I don't want to bring, of course, Stinger up. He's going to take super effective damage. Shelbert still has the best defenses. I'm going to leave him up, and let's throw another Rock Tomb at it. Slow it down one more stage. So how much does this do to us? It brings us down to about half. We land our second Rock Tomb, lowering the speed stat once more. At this point, I'm probably free to go into Stinger and go with... I could go for the Poison Jab. No, you know what? Twin Needle would be super effective on the Mew, neutral to the Jirachi, and resisted by the Sylveon. However, the Sylveon, unless it has some sort of psychic attack, can't really do anything, no stab damage back to our poison type, so I'm going to go ahead and Twin Needle with Stinger. Super effective on the Mew, here we go. But we don't have adaptability Mega Beedrill, unfortunately. Can we poison though? We don't, and it goes for Cut, which we dodge. So yeah, really not the most competitive team. What do we go for now? I'm just gonna go Twin Needle once again. It seems to be an HM Slave Mew, apparently. Can we drop it this time? Doesn't look like we're gonna get the KO, but the poison could pick up on it. No, it goes for Fly once again. So this actually gives us a free turn to go ahead and bring up our Altaria. And should I Dragon Dance right now? Or sorry, should I Mega Evolve right now? I'm not going to, in case the Jirachi does have a Steel type move. I'll at least be neutral to it as opposed to weak against it with Mega Evolution. So we're just going to go Dragon Dance. Mega Evolution wouldn't really help us in this case because we are currently immune to Earthquake. And it wouldn't get rid of our Fairy weakness to that Sylveon. We got our speed up and our attack up. And how much will this do to us? A fairly decent amount. Now, of course, as I say, the only real option now is go into our Beedrill once again and go for the Twin Needle. And they actually finally rotate that Mew out of there. So can we at least poison this? Not yet. And on the second hit, there we go. We have poisoned something on the opposing side. Now they go for Shadow Ball. Well, our special defense is pretty good, though. It's not as good as it used to be, however. So, since I just went Shadow Ball, I'm going to actually bring Stinger back out to set his special defense back to where it should be. We're going to bring in our Bibarel, who is trying to get a chance to win a Green Glow this week. Go on in there, Canuck. Do what you gotta do. We can actually Bulldoze if we survive a hit here. Echoed Voice. And pretty decent damage. Now, I'm thinking I might as well just go ahead and Bulldoze. We can survive another Echoed Voice. Actually, it gets powerful every turn. Hang on. I gotta figure this out here. It's too bad I'm not using Protect on Shelbert this week, but I'm going to go into Shelbert and fire off a Rock Tomb once more. Hopefully he can survive an Echoed Voice. Actually, they're going to Wish. Okay. So that Mew is coming up next, I'm sure. And we get the Speed Drop on the Sylveon also. And of course, get some poison damage between turns. Bring it down to about half, I believe. So, since we do have a Dragon Dance up with our Altaria, she should outspeed. Could she get a KO with the Earthquake? I think that's probably the best bet to go for. We can certainly knock out the Mew. Jirachi's going to take super effective. The Sylveon might fall to this. Let's go into Mega Evolution, unless they actually protect with something to get that Wish Restoration. But there is our Mega Altaria back once again. Let's see how much power we can land with this Earthquake attack. We can get the drop on this. Not quite, and then go Hyper Voice, which would be super effective. But can the Poison pick up the KO before the Wish? I think the Wish actually happens first, unfortunately. Yeah, there it is. But we are bringing our Beedrill back in, and we know we can knock this thing out with the Poison Jab. Now, since they didn't Echoed Voice this turn, they don't have the boosted power from the previous turn. So the obvious move is for me to go for Poison Jab, but the Jirachi could come up and be immune to that, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate into our Bibarel, go with a Bulldoze attack. Looks like they might be rotating. Actually, the Mew comes up, which we're going to outspeed thanks to all those Rock Tunes, and we drop the Legendary Mew. Alright, so we're at 3-3 right now. And Celebi is the final Pokemon. Now again, this thing could fall to a Poison Jab, but the Jirachi is going to be the problem. So I think best idea right now, although we have two Water types out at the moment, I'm going to go with the Icy Wind from Canuck. And hope that we can survive a move from the Celebi. Safeguard. Alright, we survived that move quite nicely. So let's drop the speed stat of this thing. Of course, Icy Wind is not on here for reliable damage, but it is a utility, or what would you call it? Utility move, utilitarian, I guess. Getting some speed drop. Which means Shelbert should definitely not outspeed just yet, but I think Headbutt could be a safe play to go with for our Beedrill. We actually outspeed after the one Icy Wind. And Confusion. Can we take that? Yes, we can. I'm going to go with another Icy Wind. I want to see if Shelbert will outspeed for an Ice Beam on the following turn. Not if we miss, of course. Now, I think we're going to drop to this Confusion. Yep, down goes Canuck, unfortunately. Alright, things are not looking good. I'm going to risk the Poison Jab and... watch the Jirachi come up right now. Never mind. Super effective Poison Jab. I'm sure it's going to drop the Celebi. Alright, down to 2 versus 2 now. And the Sylveon has the poison on it. It does have Wish. But I'm going to go into our Squirtle Shelbert and go for a Stab Scald attack. They actually stay active with the Sylveon. Okay. So the Wish was a good play to make, regardless of what they bring up. I'm not going to be able to one-hit KO any of it. I could get the Sylveon, but they're more than likely to rotate that Jirachi up. So since the Sylveon probably won't take Shelbert down in a single hit, I'm going to keep him up. I'm going to go with the Scald attack once again. Hyper Voice. Can we take that? We have our Eviolite. We barely did, and the Torrent Boost now comes in. Oh, so close. That was a critical hit, too. So the Wish does activate. Our only hope now is to go for the Poison Jab and bring down this Sylveon. Let's do that, Stinger. Come on, stay up. Yes, alright. That should drop the Sylveon at this point. The last Pokemon is that Jirachi. We have no way to slow it down. I would like for Shelbert to be able to get a burn off with Scald. Because there's really nothing Stinger can do to this. I'm going to go with the Endure. I'm expecting... No, you know what? I'm going to try the Twin Needle first. Because we can't poison. It's a Steel type. I'm going to Endure. I'm expecting them to bring us down pretty low. It's interesting they have Confusion and not Psychic. So the Salad Berry activates. The Twin Needle has boosted as well now from the Swarm ability. All I can really hope for, I was thinking of going for the Endeavor to bring it down low, but Shelbert's not going to outspeed. So all I can do is get off as much damage as possible with Twin Needle. Hope for some critical hits, I guess. Of course, this is the week we don't have Drill Run, which would have been very handy in this certain situation. It actually goes for Wish. Alright, I'm gonna endure. I want to wait and see what they go for. They're gonna get back to their full HP. If we could somehow get a burn, that would be very useful. So the Wish is gonna activate now. I can go for the Endeavor right now, the most damage we can do, and bring it down to 1 HP. And let's hope they go for Wish. That is our only chance right now. Nope, Confusion. And they're going to outspeed Shelbert. So this is not looking like a week for wins, unfortunately. Kind of disheartening. We're not going to get a victory for our Squirtle, unfortunately. Except they go for Wish, and thanks to the Torrent boost, which actually has no effect, we're going to land the Scald attack and drop the Jirachi. They just gave us the victory. You know what? It wasn't very well played on my part, but I'm going to take that as a victory. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate that. So, although that first match really wasn't the most competitive that could have been, and I feel a little bit cheap for actually claiming it as a win to give my guys the green glow, you know what? The game says win. I'm going to take that. Besides, this is all just for having fun, you know? Trying out some strategies and just having a good time with my Pokemon, and seeing if I can turn these shameful red hues into green glows. So with that, we're going to end off this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby rotation battles in the free battle in battle spot, and as I said at the beginning of the video, or in the team builder, I forget which, I've only got another 6 Pokemon, I believe, to take back into these rotation battles. So, of the previously defeated, as you can see, is Cliff the Clefairy and Bukemon the Hariyama. So I'm going to bring one of them next week, along with one of the Pokemon that hasn't been used yet, and that is Snapper the Totodile, Burrow the Ninjask, Egbert the Togetic, and Hedge the Dodrio. So of those 6 Pokemon, if there are any in particular you'd like to see me use in next week's video, just let me know which ones you want to see, and I'll see if I can include them in the team for next week, trying to get some type coverage for weaknesses and such, and come up with some cool strategies to try to get some victories once again in these rotation battles. Also, feel free to leave me a comment below letting me know what you thought of these battles today, and how cheap I am for taking a win for that, but as I say, it's all for fun anyway. And with that, we're going to end off this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby rotation battles. I want to say thank you for checking out the battles today, everybody, and I'll catch you next time.